Welcome everyone to episode 100 of the Chris Parrish podcast. My name is Chris Parrish. Thank you all for being here. I am very happy to announce episode 100 of this very podcast, and I could not have done it without every single one of you. So I have to do this right away. If you want to help us get to episode 200, all you have to do is like, subscribe, and share, comment, interact, hit a thumbs up on all my platforms. That's right. You can see the link tree down in the corner there. That goes to the Facebooks, the YouTubes, the Twitch, the Instagrams, the X account, and also the Chris Parrish podcast on Spotify. If you can, check it out, rate the show. Please send me the 5 stars. But on top of that, I'd love to ask you to check out turnbucklestudios.org, the official homepage of Turnbuckle Studios. Go to /join if you want a chance to be a part of the family, be a part of the Turnbuckle affiliation program, and you can get a show on that weekly calendar. You can also help out the sponsor and a partner of the Chris Parrish podcast, beercadewhyte. And you can check out beercadewhyte at 10544 82nd Avenue. You can support them on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, in live form. If you're in the Edmonton, Alberta area, they have great food. They have a great atmosphere. They even play WWE, PLEs, and AEW pay-per-views. So, top of that, they have arcade games, people. Arcade games are fun. So, go check that out. Got CBRS coming in, saying hello. Hello, how are you doing? For anybody who missed it, Halloween Havoc came to you last night. Did a nice watch party. We also found out that NXT has some stuff going down. That's right. Deadline will be happening. And there will be a watch party for Deadline. We also saw that NXT Gold Rush will be happening in 2 consecutive Tuesdays in November. And that will have involvement from Evolve, AAA, as well as TNA. So it's a very intriguing show. I can't wait to find out more about what's going on. But if you guys want to know more about what happened at Halloween Havoc, well, check this out. We had 6 matches, 5 title matches, and 3 new champions. We started off the night by having just a fantastic tag match with Javon Evans and X Division champion Leon Slater as they defeated Mr. Iguana and La Parca. And this match was a great match to kick it off, but it, in my eyes, just kind of didn't flow as well as I thought it could be. However, it did get your entertainment out of it with Mr. Iguana always whipping his opponents with his pet iguana there. La Parca showing his dance moves. Also, shout out to La Parca for making his NXT debut. Well, in-ring debut. But that wasn't just it, because later in that night, we saw Javon Evans and Leon Slater vie to go after the tag team championships that were eventually won by Dark State. That's right. Osiris and Dion Lennox defeated Broken Matt and Jeff Hardy in a Broken Rules match to win back the NXT Tag Team Champions. Well, championships. That match was absolutely brutal. Why? Because at one point you feel like you're watching Matt and Jeff Hardy continuously break themselves down. They are glutton for punishment. As much as I appreciate it, there comes a point where I just want Jeff Hardy to not climb any more ladders. because when he does, bad things happen. So, Jeff, please stay on your feet. But yes, no, Dark State picking up the win. They are your new tag team champions, and I kind of like that because as cool as it was to see the Hardy Boys win NXT tag team championships, to defend them at Bound for Glory alongside their TNA tag team championships, it was kind of nice just to kind of see that interaction. But I will also say there is a point where I'm glad that we're starting to kind of put back TNA titles on TNA superstars and NXT titles on NXT superstars, even though I think some NXT championships can be won more by TNA. I think the NXT crowd has the advantage on that. But nonetheless. Next up, we had a Day of the Dead match with Dr. Wagner Jr. going up against the men's North American champion, Ethan Page. And this was shaping up, in my eyes, to be the match of the night because the amount of pain and aggression in this match was second to none. The use of Dr. Wagner's mask came into play as Ethan Page actually ripped the top part off. And then used that explosion of half of the face to legitimately pour salt or to throw salt or flour, whatever it was, to temporarily blind Dr. Wagner before picking up the win. A great match. Absolutely fantastic. We've been seeing clips on the socials with Ethan Page afterwards claiming that he is the best champion in the world. He's the greatest North American champion. He's defending his championship against more people from other companies. And I can't really deny it, but I don't think he's the best yet, but he's definitely on his way. And he has been doing amazing work. And as much as I think he is absolutely in line to go up to a Raw or SmackDown, I'm very invested into this title reign. So let this title reign cook, and until that time comes, I cannot wait to see him in a Raw or a SmackDown, but I want to see this title reign cook because it's going to have to take somebody very special to take that championship off him, and right now I think you benefit by being patient until you find that right person. And then next up, we had Blake Monroe going up against Zarya for the NXT Women's Division. And if you are wondering, wait, I thought Soruka was the NXT North American Women's Champion. And you're right. She was. But she's also was not cleared to compete. So Zarya defended the title on her behalf. And at points you saw Blake Monroe try to use the condition of Sol Ruca to her advantage. But Sol Ruca also provided advantage for Zarya. Zarya rushed Blake Monroe, who was, kind of kneeling by the stairs there. As Blake Monroe moved, went shoulder first and seemed to almost pop her shoulder out. Sol Ruca just from behind pushes Zarya shoulder first into the ring post, and it seemed to put it back in. So there were some additions there, but my thing is Zarya pushed an in-ring competitor. By theory, that should have been a disqualification. But nonetheless, it was kind of that distraction and that sequence that allowed Blake Monroe to get the pinfall victory and to beat Zarya and become the new NXT North American Women's Champion. So congratulations to Blake Monroe. Now, I jumped the gun talking about the tag team match as that was your co-main event of the night. but Blake Monroe was the first new champion of the night. I just wanted to point out that Javon Evans and Leon Slater later called out Dark State, who happened to cost them their match at Bound for Glory, are now the tag team champions. So that story is now being intertwined just a little bit more. We then got what I actually will put out as the match of the night, Tatum Paxley versus JC Jane for the NXT Women's Championship. And the things that I'm happy about in this match is we didn't get Lyra Valkyria involved. Now, could it make sense? Absolutely. There are 3 members of Fatal Influence, only 2 female members of the Calling. But we did see both groups get kicked out with shenanigans that did come to play. And we got somewhat of a true one-on-one match. And it was a fantastic match. The innovative offense by Tatum Paxley mixed with, the cunning tricks that JC Jane could provide you mixed very well with each other. So what I really enjoyed out of this whole thing was that we saw Tatum Paxley not just shine in a match, but we saw what she's truly capable of from an in-ring perspective. It wasn't just a throwaway. It was we gave these women good time to really put on a story, put out a performance. We know how well JC Jane is. She's been the champion for over 150 days. There's a reason why she was a double champion when she won the TNA Knockouts title. Now, yes, it was for a short time, but you don't just give somebody that. It's a big deal. But for Tatum Paxley to have that performance and have that trust really shows you that there are plans for Tatum Paxley in the future. And because of that, they did have the Cullen, Fatal Influence, Tease coming back in the ring, only to provide distraction for the official to where Izzy Dane came into the ring with the NXT Women's Championship, had that slight moment of, who is she going to hit? Went to go hit JC Jane. She took a rolling encore for her trouble, and she took a rolling encore for her trouble. That allowed Tatum Paxley her opportunity to win the championship. Tatum Paxley shocked the world. Tatum Paxley is your new NXT Women's Champion. So now the question is, do we go back to a rematch with JC Jane? Or are we slowly setting seeds for a feud with Izzy Dane? This is why we watch the show. And this is why we watched the show. We wanted to see the main event. Trick Williams taking on Ricky Saints for that NXT championship. And now, I didn't hate this match. Not by a long shot. But for whatever reason, I just didn't feel like Trick Williams and Ricky Saints gelled in this match as much as I was hoping. The match seemed to be very all over. And I don't know, it didn't make me feel the way I was hoping. I do think with Ricky Saints, he needs something more definitive than a tornado DDT as a finish. I don't know how I feel about him hitting that as a finisher. But nonetheless, Ricky Saints with that tornado DDT did pin Trick Williams. He did retain his NXT championship. So the question now asks, with Ricky Saints, Tatum Paxley, Dark State, Blake Monroe, those are your main champions on NXT. Yeah, I mean, you still have, or an Ethan Page, sorry. Those are your main champions on your show. So I ask, your direction now is pretty definitive on where you want to go. You want Dark State to kind of be that captain to go up against the tag teams in NXT, and you want to use kind of Dark State's 4 members as kind of that, body, not so much a bodyguard, but that muscle of the group. Yeah, and like that's a thing too. I mean, with Ricky Saints, I think you go to that finish and it's just you. I mean, maybe we're not programmed to think of a tornado DDT as something that ends it. He hasn't established that move very much or very long to make us feel like when he hits it, it's over. So maybe there is just a time that we have to just allow it. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it just seems dull. There's not a really big setup. There's not really emphasis on it. It's just done. So I would like something else. It just seems like a bland steak. There's no sauce. There's no sizzle. There's none of that good stuff that comes with it. It's just a steak. Now the quality of it's not that bad. It's not a bad looking DDT. It's not a bad move. But for whatever reason, that tornado DDT just does not hit with me. I think Blake Monroe winning the championship from Zarya allows Zarya and Sol Ruka to kind of focus more about them. I do think that whoever comes out of both speed tournaments, as we know on the men's side, we have Axiom going up against Jesper Troy on Tuesday. The winner of that will win the tournament and face El Grande Americano for the speed title. And I do believe that they're going to just do another one for the women. Because I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, they didn't really have a finish to the last one because of an injury. So, I don't know. But nonetheless, my point is I don't feel that the current champions of the speed title will be much longer. I think in their next matchup, they will most likely lose that title. And I do think either Sol Ruka and Zarya either focus more on a tag team aspiration, or we do get that eventual split between the two. And I'm going to put my money on Sol Ruka being the heel there. I really do think Sol Ruka will be the one who turns on Zarya. But yeah, who's next for, guys like Ricky Saints and Ethan Page? I think with Ricky Saints, you can get Josh Briggs an opportunity. I think you can get away with doing a one-off there. You can have that rematch with Obafemi. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Iron Survivor match is this time around. For anybody who is unaware, it's a match where you have 5 individuals, men and women, they each have a match to start. And I believe every, 5 minutes, somebody else comes in. And then if you take a fall, you go into a box for 2 minutes. And then whoever has the most falls at the end of the match win the match. And for the most part, you're now the number one contender. And I believe this sets you up for, I don't know. I don't remember if it's a stand and deliver. I think it's been different every year. They've done it, but you do get a title opportunity in the future. And then also you got to think, okay, is JC Jane going up to a Raw or SmackDown? Are we going to see kind of that? Are we seeing Fatal Influence get primed to go to something different? Do we think somebody like Elaine Reed is ready for Raw or SmackDown? She just joined the group. Do we see Fallon Henley kind of take the reins of Fatal Influence a little bit? Maybe see Elaine Reed and JC Jane go into the tag team division a little bit. I think these are questions that we have to ask. And then you also kind of put yourself out there. Do we see, like, what involvement do we get with Evolve, TNA, AAA, and NXT at NXT Gold Rush? And remember, that is 2 Tuesday episodes. I believe it is the 18th and 25th, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have a calendar on me. I'm just trying to remember from my brain. So, yeah, 18th and 25th sounds about right to me in November. And then, if I'm not mistaken, we are looking at the first Saturday in December for Deadline. I want to say that's December 6th or something. 5th or 6th, one of those dates. So, yeah, look for more information about a watch party there. Hopefully this one won't be as poorly done myself. I do apologize. Was not my best week. So I apologize for that. I could not do as much as I wanted to for it. But hopefully it'll be different for Deadline. But yeah, let me know what you thought about NXT Halloween Havoc. I thought the one thing I did enjoy is that they're not, I want to say they, like, the production, you're not seeing so much heavily involvement on the scary, spooky side, especially it from, like, the wrestling thing. You're getting it with, like, the announcers dressing up, other people having theme gear, the graphics, yes, but you're not getting it pushed down your throat. It's more of an organic themed event. So if somebody's doesn't want to have anything spooky about their outfit, that's fine. So it's like when you play the video game and you're at a themed event and you just have a generic superstar. It looks like a generic superstar, right? Yeah. So I enjoyed that. I like the fact that, the theme wasn't pushed, but it was definitely a part of it, and it was a selling point. So there's that heavy balance that we got, and I appreciate that. So with that said, this is kind of like the first half of it. We're going to switch up into other topics, but before that, we're going to play a little bit of our video. So check out turnbucklestudios.org, the homepage of the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. You have a huge opportunity to check more about the group, the team, but also if you want to hit /join at the end of .org, you can fill out a form and see if you want to become part of the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. So here's a help wanted ad, followed by a nice link of carlcarafeld.redbubble.com. and check out our online merch stand as well.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at carlcarafel.redbubble.com. Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thursday we go TNA when we brace for Impact at 7:55 p.m. Eastern. Friday we secure all details as we answer the call for the SmackDown security detail at 8 p.m. Eastern. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Sundays be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Eastern. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
Awesome stuff. And once again, those links for you are turnbucklestudios.org, the official homepage and website for the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. And if you want to go and check out our online merchandise store, that is carlcarafel.redbubble.com. I said at redbubble.com earlier. I did one of those annoying, you effed up. So, yeah, carlcarafel.redbubble.com, the official website and online merchandise store for Turnbuckle Studios. Now, we are mere months, mere weeks, mere days away from John Cena and his last match. We need to understand how important that is, not just as a fan, but for the wrestling world. Whether or not you love John Cena, hate John Cena, don't mind John Cena, and can't believe he's going to go fan of John Cena. We are just shy of, or just shy over a month left of in-ring competition. And I think you got to give yourself a true attitude adjustment on your thought process of how you feel about his matches this year. Now, did you enjoy his WrestleMania match? Probably not. Not his best. By far not his worst. And you probably weren't exactly happy with the squash and the beatdown with Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza. But his matches with Logan Paul, AJ Styles, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam were fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. He's had some matches with R-Truth that I don't think anybody expected. I thought the match with Randy Orton was fantastic as well. And he can go on because he's had more. Now we know that he has less. I believe he has 4 appearances left. We know that he has Saturday night's main event, December 13th, his final match. That's one. We all know that he has a Raw in Boston and Raw in New York at Madison Square Garden. So that's 2. Then he has another Saturday night's main event, I believe, in November 1, if I'm not mistaken. So I believe those are the 4 appearances. Now, I'm not too sure. No, sorry. Survivor Series, the 2 Raws, Saturday night's main event on the 13th. There we go. Those are the 4. I added one. John Cena just add one. Make me right. So a potential 4 more opponents, maybe less. But who do we think really can be that person to have the honor of John Cena's last in-ring competitor? Now, we heard rumors that Dominic Mysterio could very well be the opponent for John Cena at Survivor Series. And if that's the case, I would absolutely love it. John Cena and that chase to be Intercontinental Champion would be fantastic. And I would be hard-pressed to say John Cena would most likely walk out with that Intercontinental Championship and become a Grand Slam champion. But there is a part of me that doesn't feel that just because he hasn't won the Intercontinental Championship, he should just win it because he's never won it. Now, I'm sympathetic, but I'm also sympathetic enjoying the story, enjoying the organic that we're getting with wrestling right now. And I don't want to see a transitional champion just for the sake of a stat. Now, it's okay if like that's a story and it's like a good build and a good match, and like we get something out of it. But I mean, I thought the one thing that I did enjoy about Brock Lesnar versus John Cena was, well, just because it's John Cena's retirement tour doesn't mean Brock Lesnar has to stop being Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar at will can't just beat the living tar out of John Cena. Some things don't always have to change just because of the narrative that is John Cena's retirement tour. So what if John Cena does vie for the Intercontinental Championship at Survivor Series and loses? I don't think I would have a problem with that. In fact, I think I prefer it. And then you look at, who could it be at Madison Square Garden and in Boston? And names like Carmelo Hayes in Boston, shout out to you, because they're both Massachusetts born. But what about, I'll paint you guys a foot, like kind of go against it. What happens if John Cena does become Intercontinental Champion and he goes to Boston, a city that takes pride in its Celtic background, and he has that match versus Sheamus, the Celtic Warrior? Somebody like, are we in a position where we're going to cheer for Sheamus because he hasn't won the Intercontinental Championship? Or do we still cheer for John Cena because we want to see him defend the title in his last match? If that is a scenario, I'm just making a scenario up and asking. This is kind of why I just don't think we need to put a title on John Cena on these next 4 matches. Not to mention, if you're another wrestler and John Cena gets a title opportunity and you have been working for one and then have been passed by, won't you be a little upset? Now, I get it. John Cena's done everything. He's one of the greatest of all time. He's a GOAT. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's a never seen 17-time world champion. I get it. But if John Cena gets a title opportunity and Braun Breaker doesn't, why should Braun Breaker care about John Cena and his history? That could also be a good enough reason for Braun Breaker to say, I want to end what is John Cena. It'll be very interesting to see what we do get. We can throw out a bunch of names. Hell, with Ilya Dragunov returning, becoming U.S. champion, still doing the Open U.S. challenges. Could we see one at a Saturday night's main event and John Cena versus Ilya Dragunov is your last match for John Cena? He's still, giving it. He would still be having a match with somebody who is considered new to the WWE world. Still somebody that has a future with WWE. It'd be a hell of a match. If anybody can give you a Brock Lesnar type ass kicking and punishment style, it might just be Ilya Dragunov in a completely different way. And that just makes me think of how great a match between Ilya Dragunov and Brock Lesnar would be. But it's going to be very intriguing to see kind of these next 4 opponents for John Cena, and you have to assume that the next 4 appearances do have matches tied by them. It's not just, hey, I'm here for a backstage, I'm just here for an in-ring segment. That's it. That's my second to last appearance. My last appearance in Boston or New York or San Diego. That'd be an absolute disappointment if they do that in Washington for his last match that they're advertising as his last match. So you're getting a match, right? Right? We're not going to mess this up, right? So at the end of the day, you got to... It's why we watch the shows. We have to kind of see how things unveil and how they're told, and we watch the why that's given, because again, you can say so many questions, but the most important question you can ask is why. And without that why, nothing makes sense, nothing's intertwined, nothing fits, nothing works. So I'll be very curious to see the why for John Cena's next 4 competitors, for his next 4 matches, his final 4 in-ring appearances. Because no matter what way you shape it, I feel they all should benefit the future of the WWE and professional wrestling. So I can't wait. I can't wait for the next, 48 days of John Cena. 48 days. We are under 7 weeks left. So just to put that in perspective for everyone, 7 weeks today, episode 107 of the Chris Parrish podcast will feature a world of WWE without an in-ring John Cena. Now he says, my time is now. Fans, your time is now to realize you are witnessing the end of an era. So enjoy it. Enjoy it when you can, because the future of professional wrestling is shaping up to be very different. especially when you see that AJ Styles has already announced he plans on retiring in 2026, just next year. You have to also look at how much longer CM Punk plans on actually going. Now, he could say, I plan on going until the wheels fall off, but the wheels could fall off tomorrow. Question is, we never know when the wheels fall off. That's why it's always very important to enjoy what you see and what you can, even if you don't like it. There's a difference between not liking something and not enjoying something. Because even, I mean, how many of us can sit here as adults and say, oh, I know how important eating fruits and vegetables are, but when I was 4 years old, I hated them. I didn't like waking up and going to school, but how important is that when you're an adult and you have a great career, you have a great job, you have a great future because of that school or because of the decisions that you did make. Sometimes just because you don't like something doesn't mean it doesn't have a benefit to your future. Because in my experience, sometimes things I don't like makes me appreciate the things I do like just a whole lot better. And sometimes you need that match against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania to love the one at SummerSlam. You need the match with Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza to love the love story that they gave when he faced AJ Styles at Crown Jewel. So if you ask me whether it's the heel turn, heel run, and people want to say, well, the heel turn was great, the heel run sucked, I wouldn't appreciate the right now if I didn't get the first 10 plus months of John Cena's retirement tour. So I think the one thing we can say is we're not going to like everything. We're not going to love everything. We're not going to give everything a 5 stars. But in 5 years from now, just like the Attitude Era, we're going to remember why we loved it. We're going to remember what it made us feel and what it did for us. And we're going to hold it to a high standard. And that is why they always say nostalgia is one hell of a drug. Because we're addicted to feeling good and positive over the things we love. So let that kind of be something that takes you to that next decision. Now, speaking of decisions, in 6 days, on November 1, Saturday Night's Main Event comes back to you. And we will be doing a PLE patrol for Saturday Night's Main Event. Now, that's not a show on the weekly calendar because it's not every week, but check back on Turnbuckle Studios platforms, whether it's the Facebook, the YouTube, and Twitch. And you can check out the PLE patrol for Saturday Night's Main Event. The big decision is, are you eating? Are you saying it's clobbering time as Jey Uso faces CM Punk for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship? Are you Team Punk? Are you Team Jey? So you got to ask yourself, because one of those men are going to walk out with that World Heavyweight Championship. I'm predicting CM Punk. Let me know in the comments who you have as I pull up the rest of this card. Let me I didn't expect to talk about this, actually. It kind of just happened naturally. So, well, yeah. For the Undisputed Championship, we got Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. Do we think Cody Rhodes bit off more than he can chew, or does Drew McIntyre, is he just in a position right now where he just can't pull the trigger when it matters the most? So who walks out Undisputed Championship? I'm putting money on Cody Rhodes, but I am telling you, I want Drew McIntyre to walk out of champion so bad. With the events on SmackDown, you have to think Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton are going to be a match Saturday night's main event. You kind of just, I don't know. With that attack from Jade Cargill, she only wants one thing, and that is the championship that Tiffany Stratton has around her waist. So does she get it? I think we'll get a little bit more clarity on that this Friday with SmackDown. But let me know your guys' thoughts on those two championship matches. As I'm pulling up the card right now, it doesn't seem like there is many matches. I do believe that those are the only 3 announced. So if there was any other matches, that would make sense for Saturday night's main event. Now, this is something I'd be thinking. Would a triple threat between Rusev, Penta, and Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship make sense? Do we even need that many more matches? If I'm looking at it, I could use a tag team title match. So maybe give me Wyatt 6 versus the MFTs in a tag team match, and this could set the stage for something bigger at Survivor Series. How much from a retro theme show in Saturday night's main event would that be flipped upside down with the arrival of the Wyatt 6? Just food for thought. But I think I would go into a tag team match here. I wouldn't even be against a match of Alexa Bliss and Charlotte going up against Lyra Valkyria and Bayley for the women's tag team titles. I'd be okay with that as well. And just let SmackDowns be the platform that cook the MFT versus Wyatt 6 storyline. So I think that's kind of, in a nutshell, what I would do. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. It's going to be a fun show. Can't wait for that. I think there's only 2 Saturday night's main events left for the year, this being one, and obviously the one on December 13th being the last one. It can happen on Raw. Doesn't mean that it can be decided. We could see a no contest, and then we can get it pushed back for Saturday night's main event. I'm just saying, I would like a goddamn tag match on this show. Got 3 title matches, 3 singles matches. Give me some variety. That's all I ask. Just give me what I want. Because I just can't see Becky Lynch defending the Intercontinental. I mean, maybe against Maxine, but I really don't want to see that match for a 3rd time. Not so quickly. I mean, Julia for the U.S. title would be nice. She hasn't done anything with that title. But then you beg the question is, who is challenging Julia for that championship? WWE released a video of a teaser video. Somebody's just walking. Black pants, black shoes. Don't even know. Male or female. Don't even know that one. Personally, I think that's just probably Santos Escobar. But we'll find out more. Could we even see the Judgment Day get the rematch against the team of Dragon Lee and AJ Styles? That's booked for an episode of Raw. I don't know. Nonetheless, that is what I feel they should do with Saturday Night's Main Event. At a tag match of some sort. Go back to my first thought of MFTs and the Wyatts. Why not? Let that build into a big thing. And have Regal just come out and go War Games, and then everyone can be happy. But with that being said, we are near that time. I do like to keep these shows under the hour mark. Why? Because it allows me to put it on TikTok. That's the honesty. So, but I do want to just take this note to let everybody know how much I do appreciate every single one of you for coming in, spending some time with me on these Sundays, helping me reach the goal of 100 episodes. Now, normally, I would go, yeah, check out this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm still going to do that. Don't get me wrong. Next week, we're going to still keep going. We're going for 200. With episode 101, who's it going to be? You can be like, well, you just talked about that. No, I'm going to actually dive down a little bit more who I think the last opponent is going to be. And that's not the only time we can ask that question in the realm of pro wrestling. Like I said, we just saw a vignette that has somebody walking. Who's it going to be? Next week, we have a vacant championship. Somebody's going to win. Who's it going to be? There's a lot of questions we can ask that too. I'm just giving you a few examples. So in that time, this was episode 100, Century Mark. I just want to say thank you. But I also want to tell you guys that life is precious. Everything you do shapes your future. So make sure that you enjoy your present, because it's a lot easier looking forwards than it is looking backwards. So be kind, be happy, be healthy. Be yourself, because at the end of the day, you matter.
Yeah.